Welcome back to another episode of the Scoop Around the Loop. We have Andrew Springer with us here today. Andrew, how is your week going?
Not too bad. It's gone by kind of quick.
We have Tyler, who has a head cold, so apologize for the nasaliness. But Tyler, other than that, how's your week going?
Did you just apologize on my behalf?
Yes.
Don't speak on behalf of him.
The heck? My week is going good. For the most part, I guess all things considered, I have a cold that's turning into something more than a cold, I feel like. And my animals right now are really pissing me off.
What'd they do?
I kind of wish I wasn't an animal owner at the moment, but
It's Samson still having some diarrhea everywhere?
no, he hasn't done that, but he's still kind of acts like a puppy, and it bothers me because he's older than that. But Binks is the one that's really pissing me off. He's licking at his skin like crazy, and he has a huge bald spot on the back of his.
He probably has allergies just like you do.
So we're trying to figure that out. So I put a t-shirt, or Hannah put a t-shirt on him, but now when he has a t-shirt on him, he's not going to the bathroom. So I woke up this morning and sat down on this chair that we have in the family room to play with Isaiah, and I was like, what is that smell? And I look behind the cushion, and there's a bunch of cat turds back there. So like he won't go in his litter box because he has this t-shirt on him. He has this t-shirt on him because he's licking, and we're trying to cover up his wound. So long story short, we're taking him to the vet tomorrow. The last time he went to the vet, he attacked the vet, so they had to put him under, which costs money. And that's why we've been avoiding taking him to the vet for this thing. So I'm just kind of annoyed with that. And like if you listen really closely, I can hear him licking in the storage room back here.
We also have Sydney on. Sydney,
What's
how is
up?
your week going? And
Pretty
are
good.
you a dog or a cat person?
Definitely a dog person.
Okay.
No problems like that, but
I have had a dog that has pretty bad allergies, but she just licked her paws a ton. And then once we figured out just like a low dose of Benadryl took away the problem, she was a great dog.
Yeah,
She still is a great dog.
I know in the pet owning world, pet insurance is always a question. I'm a big fan of pet insurance. We have it, and I mean, maybe we like pay attention to it more because we do have pet insurance to fall back on. But Samson gets allergy shots like every other month, and you can tell a night and day difference as soon as he gets that shot. He stops itching and being so irritated. But anywho,
You also, this week, had a surprise trip to Decorah. What, Tyler, what are your opinions on Decorah? What did you love? Do you recommend that as a day trip?
yeah, Decorah was a lot of fun. I'd been up there before for basketball when I was in high school, but that was all my time was spent in a gym pretty much. So I didn't actually see it, nor did I care about small town Iowa back then like I do now. It's a really, really cool town. It's small. It's a college town, but has a long main street with pretty much every storefront filled with something, which is nice. So people obviously like shopping and like small town main street shopping. But it also has a ton of nature-y things to do up there. That area of Iowa is called Driftless, or it's kind of nicknamed Driftless. And apparently during the Ice Age or whatever, there was never a glacier that went over that part of the country. So it's kind of apparently hasn't been touched or formed like the rest of Iowa has. So there's a bunch of hills and cliffs and rivers and waters and all that stuff. If you had to give Iowa a national park, it'd probably be somewhere up in that area. So if you're a fan of that type of stuff like I am, you would like it for that reason, because it's actually like legit hiking. You go up and down and you're actually tired. Whereas if you go hiking in central Iowa, it's like you're walking on a sidewalk. So that was a lot of fun. And then if you're a beer fan, like I am also a beer fan, that's where Toppling Goliath is at, which makes Pseudo Sue. Everybody knows what Pseudo Sue is. And then there's another brewery called Pulpit Rock there, which I found to be really, really good. So to me, Decorah has all three of my more favorite things: being outside and hiking and things like that, beer, and then like small town charm and architecture and all that stuff. So I definitely recommend it. It's kind of far up there. It's right by the Minnesota border, like an hour away from any city. So that's, I guess, the downside, but the core has everything you need: multiple grocery stores, a hospital, Walmart, all that stuff. So definitely recommend. We stayed at the High Point Cabins, which I've seen on Instagram and TikTok a lot. This was a birthday gift from Hannah, and those are really, really cool. You have to book pretty far in advance or go in the middle of the week like we did. So, yeah, I definitely recommend.
Andrew, Sydney, either of you guys ever taken a trip up there?
Nope.
No.
Hey, breaking news. The 10-year treasury yield is at its lowest point since April this year. Today, right now.
It's at its lowest point, and the gap between the 10-year treasury yield and interest rates is still a pretty big gap. So correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's reasons to believe that interest rates are going to just keep going down, 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 correct?
Green State and Community Choice both have 30 years starting at in the 5s. So
Okay. And
Well,
Andrew, what are
that's
your
kinda
opinions?
crazy, that tie-in with the Fed and Decorah, because do you know where Jerome Powell is from?
Decorah.
Where's he from? No, I don't know where he's from.
He's not from Decorah. He's from Washington, D.C. I was just kidding.
In this type of market, though, where interest rates are trending down, we've been saying for how many months now, if interest rates get down to a certain point, the buyers are just going to start flooding the market and prices are going to start to be affected. It would probably be advantageous for someone to jump on this sooner rather than later, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's football season, right? Like you don't want to get in the game and then start stretching. You want to be ready. Get ready now, so when you get in the game, you're ready to make a play.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Actually,
and this might be getting ahead of ourselves, similar to like Mark Gronowski. Like that dude is the definition of getting ready to go when the game has already started.
Or not getting ready.
So instead of, being ready to go and getting ready through spring and fall camp, he decided he was going to walk out and get ready to go at the start of the game, and you see how that worked out. So don't be like Mark Gronkowski or whatever.
Gronowski.
Get ready before the game starts.
let's just get into it. I want these Iowa State fans to just rub it in. Let's talk Iowa State. Let's talk the football game. Let's first go around and do predictions and just kind of talk general score, how much you think a certain team is going to win by, general vibes. Sydney, you start.
I think 31-28 Iowa State.
Ooh.
You think it's going to be that high scoring, huh?
I mean, considering Iowa in the past, it seems
I don't know if
risky.
Iowa can score 28 points.
I think they can. We'll see what they can do, but
And
Iowa
Andrew,
State's gonna top.
Andrew, what are you thinking?
21-10 Iowa State. Late touchdown seals it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Tyler.
thinking 23-20 Iowa State. Now, I say that, and I could 100% see Iowa winning. That's what's so damn annoying about the Iowa Hawkeyes. This shit pisses me off because they shouldn't win, but I could 100% see them winning for the same exact score. And but anyways, yeah, 23-20.
Yeah.
What do you think, Thomas?
I could see there's basically one and only one way Iowa can win. They score early, and they just hold on to the ball. They don't turn it over.
And Iowa
State has a slow offensive day, and they just never quite get the lead back themselves. And Iowa comes out and wins an ugly, typical Iowa football game, like 17-14, something like that. The problem is I could see Iowa State winning in like 8 or 10 different ways. I could see Iowa's linebackers that looked good last week not being able to cover Iowa State's tight ends. I could see the cornerbacks from Iowa that I'm worried about giving up big plays to Iowa State's wide receivers. Iowa State's wide receivers aren't necessarily as good as they were last year, but they're definitely good enough to take advantage of Iowa's cornerbacks. I can see Iowa State's defense holding Iowa to only 7 or 10 points and just winning it. So, I mean, I think Iowa State's going to win, unfortunately. Like Tyler said, I won't be surprised if Iowa wins. We've seen them do it against Iowa State multiple times, winning in some of the dumbest ways.
Yeah.
Well, I shared this with you yesterday that the 10 times that Iowa State has been favored in this game, I was won 9 of them. And Iowa State's favored. So
I will say it has been it's been quite a while since Iowa State has won by more than 3 points.
Yeah, I think
2005 maybe.
I think it was 2000. Yeah, that sounds right.
23-3.
Yeah, that sounds exactly on the money. So I don't know. My fiance has been talking a whole lot of crap. She thinks Iowa State's just going to run it up on Iowa. I don't necessarily see that happening.
No.
Kirk Ferentz loves to keep it close. That is one thing that he's definitely good at.
Both of these teams are wired for close games.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, and then I think Matt Campbell is a great coach, but I do think he gets in his head a little bit when playing Iowa. I think he tries to play Iowa's game. He tries to do ball control. He doesn't take a bunch of risks. So I just don't think – I think he's going to be looking for Iowa State to win, not necessarily looking to make a point against Iowa.
I think if we were to go back like 3 weeks ago when we did like the whole season prediction, I had Iowa State losing to Iowa. But the way that Iowa State's looked these first couple weeks and how fast they started, which, again, traditionally they start out slow and then Brocktober, that whole thing comes around and then they pick it up. They've looked really, really, really good. I also think that Mauser, the offensive coordinator for Iowa State, it's his second year. He obviously beat Iowa last year. I think Iowa State as a whole was significantly slowed down by Manning, their old offense coordinator, who definitely preferred more of that Iowa style of football, even when he had weapons all over the field. So
I want to ask this question too.
Iowa State's looked. That's why I'm switching.
I want to ask this question too because I was thinking. I mean, I definitely think the difference that Iowa State has is their quarterback. Obviously, I wouldn't say at this point that I'm ready to say that Rocco Becht is better than Brock Purdy. But would you agree with me saying that you trust him in a big game more than Brock Purdy?
Yes, 100%. Brock Purdy would just throw an interception the last possession of the game.
It seemed like while Brock would make some bigger plays at times, it seemed like he loved to make the play that loses Iowa State the game as well.
Yeah, he'd have some dumb plays or throws. I mean, he had a few interceptions that were like, what are you doing? I think with the exception of the UCF game last year, Rocco really doesn't make mistakes that put them or their defense in a bad spot. He's really efficient.
Yeah. And I also think with this one, I think once Iowa has 2 possessions, I think you're going to be able to tell how this game is going. I have reasons to believe that Iowa is going to be able to run the football on them. But that really, really depends on how they can block up the big citrus, Dom Orange. So if that goes poorly, I think it's going to be a long day for Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, we could also talk about the other side of this rivalry that Sydney might be more interested in, like the tailgating and boozing side, and we can debate who has the better tailgates, Iowa or Iowa State fans. And I would definitely argue Iowa State fans because for the longest time, these tailgates were the only thing Iowa State's, the only thing that Iowa State fans really had, you know what I mean, when they were terrible.
No, Iowa has better fans for sure. But Ames is like closer, so you can get to the stadium easier
I agree.
instead of walking a mile.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, anymore though with that, I mean, it didn't take away a ton of parking, but I feel like again, also with success of Iowa State football comes traffic and stuff. Like just growing up when they'd win 2 games, you could walk a quarter mile and be at the stadium. Now, Meehan and Isaiah just went to the game last week, and we had to park like a mile and a half away from the stadium, like pretty much on campus.
Yeah, but
It's
you guys
still-
have home field advantage too, so you'll be
Yeah.
loud.
So let's go.
Nick Butler says 7-2 Iowa State. I hope not for everyone.
That'd be a terrible game.
Hey, on the Springer Brother chat, we've got a contest going on, or not chat, our page. Guess the score correctly in the winner, and we're giving away $50 Shields gift card.
Okay. Let's go through. Let's do favorite memories of the Iowa State game. You could go with a particular game or a particular just like memory you have of one that you went to that was just a fun day in your life.
I remember. I could go first. This has nothing to do with football. This is this is something dumb and stupid, but also kind of funny. Something that I did in Iowa City when I was in college. I don't know what year it would have been, but we were walking. It was after the game, and we were walking, and there's this group of 35, 40-year-olds walking down the street. And I remember seeing them from afar, and they were like trying to, flirt or talk to a bunch of college girls. They were all drunk, whatever. But we walked by them, and a couple of them had bald heads. And so I walked up to one of them and Michael Jordaned them like this. And I had Iowa State stuff on, and he had Iowa stuff on. Hey, blah, 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 you Cyclone fans. Started like cussing me out and things. And there was a cop standing right there. And the cop pulled me aside right away. He's like, dude, you can't be doing that. He goes, I saw the whole thing, and I thought it was pretty dang funny, but you can't be doing that, especially not today, and especially not at this time of day when everyone's been drinking. That could have turned into something way bigger than it needed to be. You can't be doing that. And I said, okay.
Especially with Johnson County Police, that could have been way worse than you ended up.
Like, and before he let go of my arm, he's like, you had to promise me you won't Michael Jordan any more ball guys. I said, okay, I won't. But that would have been 2015 or 2016, whichever one of those years they played in Iowa City during the Iowa State game. It was after the Iowa State game.
Andrew, you got a memory?
I remember Brett Culbertson game-winning kick in 2007. We were
15 to-
there, 15-13.
5 field goals.
Jesse and I were dating. She was not an Iowa State fan, but she was wearing Iowa State because she was with me. Walking into a gas station near Iowa City, and a bunch of guys yelled "slut" at her, and she is no longer a fan of Iowa Hawkeyes because of that. So,
Thanks,
Tommy
Iowa.
and they're like, "Yep, those are my fans."
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that was me. I'm sorry for yelling slut.
Thomas is like, "Wow, I'm proud." That's the highlight.
there are some great Iowa fans. There's some great Iowa State fans, but there are some crappy Tavern Hawk fans that make it look bad for everybody else.
Hey, there's some Iowa State fans.
There are. There's just more
Cindy?
Hawkeyes.
I mean,
You got a
just
memory?
hang out with friends and family. My parents came over for tailgate, and they were there at 12 p.m. just making food. So just hanging out with them, friends.
You would
As
have
long as
been
we win, it's fun.
you would have been a student during. You would have been a student during my favorite memory because mine was, well, this was in Ames though. It was 2021. Andrew, you remember that game?
Yeah, Sydney and I were
there.
talking about that.
I got it for free actually at the Iowa State game with no ticket, which
No,
I
wait,
don't-
2021. That
That was-
Iowa Purdy got pulled in that game.
Yeah.
2019 was the muffed punt.
Wait, that was the one I was thinking of. That
that-
2019. 2019 was the one I was thinking of.
But nobody mentions the possession before the Iowa State had the ball, third down. I think it wasn't Lazard. I think it was Butler got absolutely mauled, and they didn't call a PI. Should have been a PI in first down.
And there was a rain delay that game.
Yeah,
If I remember-
Iowa State had all the momentum in that. We had Deshaunte Jones trick play to I forget the dude's wide receiver's name, but big transfer. Milton had a long pass right after halftime for a touchdown. But those delays, I think, just sucked the momentum right out.
There was a delay during that game, and I specifically remember watching.
There was two of them.
The long one, I remember coming back out from the concourse because I figured it was all cleared out, and I remember seeing a bunch of Iowa State students were on the field and were sliding themselves across the field, and they got escorted out. I believe, was that the same year that there was the drama with the marching band?
Yeah, because they don't know where to exit. They don't follow directions.
There are so many fun stories like that in this rivalry, and I hope, with all the changes that come to college football, I hope that it doesn't get taken away.
Hey, I'll say this: like, obviously, I'm an Iowa State fan. I know a lot of good people that are Hawk fans.
Thank you.
And I think having kids has softened me a lot because this game doesn't affect me like it used to. But it's fun. It's fun, I think. And
you know what really?
I hope people see this and see we're having fun.
You know what really changed it for me was before all the real estate stuff. I used to run the college clothing department in Cedar Falls, and
at Shields.
At Shields. And on a daily basis, I was talking to Iowa and both Iowa State fans and UNI fans, and unfortunately sometimes Drake fans. And there's a lot of great people. And like you had kind of sort of mentioned earlier, there's a lot of them that are just not nice people either. But you realize that every single fan base has some of those on every single side. So you can't really stereotype one fan base. There is more Iowa fans in the state, so by numbers, there probably is more jerk Iowa fans.
Once I became older than the players, I stopped caring as much.
Just in general,
I'm like 7 years older than the oldest player, 6 years older than the oldest player. However, now that Rocco Becht is a multi-millionaire, like some of that does come back a little bit where I'm like, all right, like
same with Gronowski. Dude's getting paid $1.5 million.
Frustrate me, you know what I mean? Like, all right, you are young, but you're also making millions of dollars to play.
Yeah, let's throw for more than 44 yards this week. How about
some of that has come back a little bit, but again, the fact that they're so much younger than me now, I care significantly less than I used to.
All right, let's talk about some real estate. I think that was fun. I think that was good Iowa State talk. Who wants to take the lead on talking about Merle Huff? Andrew, Tyler?
DUI.
You do it.
Me?
No, Thomas.
I held an open house here last Sunday. 1840 Merle Huff, listed just under $400,000. I think the big highlight with this house is just how much finished square footage there are. If you want to host a party and you want to buy a house in Norwalk that has a ton of potential, very, very close to the pool, I think this is definitely one that you could check out. It has a wet bar already set up in the basement. Correct me if I'm wrong. What year was this one built, guys? Was it like late 90s?
No, I think it was 2006.
Was it 2006? Yeah. So you're not talking about an extremely old house. I think it has a ton of potential in a great little spot to be in Norwalk, especially multiple people that walked through the open house mentioned this. This is, depending on how much you like to walk, within walking distance of the new Norwalk Central development too. So you're within walking distance of the new golf simulator that opened up, Mullet's, the new Cooper's restaurant, all those baseball fields, all those softball fields. You're within walking distance of all of that. So I definitely think it's one to check out. Did I miss anything, guys?
Well, look at those carpet lines in that carpet.
Yeah, Yeah, who?
That's all.
Someone did a really good job vacuuming.
Thanks, guys.
It is all new carpet in there. This was built in 2004.
2004. I knew it was early 2000s or late 90s. I
But
couldn't.
when this was built as like a custom home
Yep.
in a neighborhood full of like spec homes. So just kind of the layout is different. You won't find another house laid out like that for that price. It's kind of like a executive layout, I guess, where 2 bedrooms are upstairs and then 2 in the lower level. See the upper right hand picture there, that's the lower level, and there's a fireplace and built-ins. So back when this was built, this was built as, you know, I don't know, in 2004, maybe verging on the edge of like an executive home. So the floor plan is nice, and again, just kind of unique. You can't see it, but they're
Plenty of good sized bedrooms too.
Yeah, the bedrooms are good size, dedicated dining space with big columns at the front of it, and then like a double decker. What's the word for it? The ceiling in the dining space.
Vaulted ceiling.
Like a tray
ceiling, yeah.
Yeah, like double tray ceilings. So just kind of some unique features like that as well.
If there happens to be any Norwalk historians or people that lived in Norwalk for a long time, this was built by Albright Custom Homes, which is no longer a home builder. But in this neighborhood, if you know anyone that lives on Merle Huff or kind of in that older part of Merle Huff, you've probably been to one of their homes. They were a very, very popular builder at the time. So
now,
so this was the house that we cleaned it out. Sydney we were talking to her about joining our team. And I said, hey, will you come kind of see what we do? Because we're not afraid to get dirty when it comes to this stuff, you know, helping sellers out. And so we thought, well, we'll see what she does and see where this goes. And she helped us, and we said, all right, thanks for helping us. Good luck. It was a good trial. It was a good trial.
Speaking of Norwalk historians, Thomas, this is supposed to be you. Who is Merle Huff?
He was one of the first like mayors or like big influencers in the city of Norwalk, I believe.
He was the president of the Norwalk School Board of Education. And he served in World War II as a platoon leader. And out of the 190 men in his company, 20 of them made it home, including him.
My grandma's going to be so mad that I didn't know that.
But that's kind of cool. I just looked that up. I'm not acting.
Tommy is Norwalk's native son, in case you guys didn't know. So this house is in his town. Minor name is on the football stadium. So I just like to remind people of that if there's a house in Norwalk,
and just to highlight
consider
again,
the Springer brothers or Minor.
There's also several local dive bars in the area with bolos of Miners behind the bar.
Be on the lookout.
That is fair enough. All right, let's go to. Well, Sydney, did we miss anything about Merle Huff? You walked through the house. Anything that you thought was cool about it?
Thought it was spacious. Definitely lots of room.
Definitely lots of room. All right. Who's going to take the lead on 4th Street? I actually haven't walked through this one.
I'm going to say it real quick, and then I have to go. What do you want in a house, you know, where you move in and there's nothing you got to do? I mean,
I think this is one.
House, they put so much work, so much stuff into it. New floors, new windows, new roof, new doors.
New siding, correct?
Immaculate. New sidings, hardy plank siding, heated garage, and a shed, huge yard, walking distance to great things in Grimes. There's literally very little that you need to do to update this house. In fact, I think we priced it well. It's $339,900. We just dropped it actually, but we comped this out with other homes. I mean, it's well over $360. Some of them comping at 400. So it's hard to believe that that's where prices are, but we're not priced near that. And so it's going to be a great steal for somebody.
Cool.
With that, I got to go.
Tyler, anything Andrew missed?
Yeah, he missed the new AC and the new furnace, new gutters. What else?
How much of the new flooring is there? Is it just that new LVP that I'm seeing on the photos?
Yeah, that you see right there. There is a new egress window. Maybe it's not brand new, I guess. There's a fourth non-conforming bedroom in the basement with a big living space and a bathroom down there. And there's like a separate room to a little bit of the storage area that has an egress window in it. So that could be an actual bedroom. So yeah, again, like Andrew said, a lot of it's been updated completely. And the sellers would be okay with me saying this, like they've spent a lot of money on the house too. It's not like it's been one of those things where they did a bunch of work themselves and DIY'd a bunch of stuff. Like, nah, that siding and the roof and the gutters and the windows and all this stuff was done by contractors, and they paid for it. And again, have spent a lot of money in this house.
What area is this in Grimes? What's it like by?
Literally right behind that come and go on First Street.
Okay.
Just to the west of Hy-Vee and those baseball fields and bebops and all that stuff, and north of First Street and the downtown area. You can walk to the little main street. You can walk to come and go easily. So yeah, great area, and in a little bit of an older neighborhood, which admittingly maybe holds this house back a little bit, just because some of the houses are older. But again, if that wasn't the case, it'd probably be listed at like 360, like Andrew said. So yeah, kudos to these sellers. These sellers have been awesome to work with. They obviously would have liked to have their house sold as soon as we listed it, but they've just been awesome to work with and have been open to critiques or suggestions and getting the house ready to list. They were awesome. And then obviously the prep that they did while living here has been awesome, and makes this job fun in this case. So.
Sweet. Sydney, did you get a chance to check this one out? Anything we missed when talking about it?
I haven't been able to check this one out. So
there's an open house there this weekend, 12 to 3. I'm not sure who's doing that.
I believe Brady is doing that one.
Brady is doing that. I've had good traffic there. So people are interested. Grimes is growing. Again, probably the biggest holdup is just like the size of it. It's an older home, so just like the rooms are a little bit smaller, the bathrooms are a little bit smaller compared to going to spend $360 or $370, $380 on a newer home. You're just going to get a little bit more size. But if you're someone that likes the older home charm and you like being in Grimes, this is like the perfect location if you ask me.
Well, and as far as resale homes too, I would point out it's pretty rare to find a resale home that has had this list of updates too.
Yeah, and like we don't even like talk about the kitchen. The kitchen has been updated as well. All those kitchen appliances are new. In a lot of resale homes, like you see that bottom left picture now, there's an accent wall. Like a lot of resale homes this age, that's what we would be marketing. We'd be like, hey, there's this accent wall. Come in and show me this accent wall. This is all the sellers have done to the place. Whereas like we don't even talk about like the $10,000 appliances that they've just recently put in. You know what I mean? So all that stuff too.
It looks clean. It looks ready to go. I think anyone that ends up getting this one will be very, very happy because they'll be getting into a community that is growing, like Tyler said.
Yeah, if you're a lawn person, this lawn is lush as can be. That picture, I mean, you can kind of tell, but I feel like that picture is making it look bad or something. Trust me on this. That lawn is lush as lush gets.
I don't see any weeds.
No, there's no weeds. Yeah, it's thick and full out there for sure. They've spent money on that as well. Even just grass and sod patches and stuff like that. So big deep lot. Almost, it's like 0.35 acres, I think. So
Let's end this up with a fun, just kind of home buying topic. And I hope you guys can think of some stuff right off the top of your head. Um, when you're, what are some features that just like you personally, we're not talking about like, oh, add this feature to your home and it'll add a ton of value. Just you personally have always loved to see in a home. Tyler, you got one off the top of your head?
yeah, I have a couple off the top of my head. Number one is a piano room. I love a front den with a piano sitting in there, whether or not you play it or not. I just love that vibe. I don't know, just kind of like a front, like a den is what I think we're supposed to call it. Maybe like a front.
Do you know how to play piano?
I do a little bit. I can read sheet
Oh.
music, basic sheet music. And if someday I will have a piano, and someday I will get better than I am at the piano. Like all your basic Christmas songs, I can play.
I just imagine Tyler hosting a like really fancy dinner party and then walking up to the piano and playing chopsticks.
Is that the basic song?
Yeah.
I'd play. It would have to be a Christmas party that I would host. It'd be, the
Jingle
Grandma
bells.
got ran over by a reindeer. I could play that. Jingle bells. Santa Claus is coming to town. Away in the manger. All that good stuff. So that a front piano room, like a sitting room, and then a gym, like a nice weight room.
Oh yeah.
That's like tall enough for a weight room.
Yep. Or just like a clean basement that actually has enough space. The big thing I've been running into, I've had 2 buyers that have been noticing this lately. They had Pelotons, and your standard basement is not tall enough to have a Peloton and actually use it. Like, you're just hitting your head on the ceiling the whole time. So I've been noticing that. But yeah, like a legitimate gym room with a high enough ceiling is definitely nice.
Converted garage or something like that, or
this is something that I have always loved, and I actually honestly don't know if I'll ever get it because I don't think I'm ever going to buy an acreage, is a wraparound porch.
Ooh.
I think I always just love the way those look, and I love the idea of it, but you really, really only see them on acreages that are like older farmhouses. You don't really see them in town a ton. That's just something I have always thought was really, really cool. Sydney?
I really loved arch doorways right now.
Okay.
Molding.
And that's becoming more trendy in new construction too, I've noticed.
Yeah, just because of the square look, it's time for something new. I love molding, I love trim, and who doesn't like a little shiplap?
Still on the shiplap train?
Yeah. I mean,
You
gotta have it in some places.
a little bit of an accent and stuff like that. Joanna
Yeah.
Gaines it.
Yeah, accent walls too.
Okay. Any other honorable mentions, Tyler? I know you have probably a ton.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff I would like to have in my dream house someday. Again, a library, an office, a study type of thing. Like I like these 1995 to like 2010 2-stories that you see a lot in the suburbs where there's like a front office, probably a little bit smaller than like that front piano room I'm talking about, but where they have the French doors and it's sealed out from there. So like the next house I buy, you will walk in that house, mark my words, you will walk in the house, to the right or to the left, there'll be an office with French doors. And then on the opposite side, there'll be like a little sitting area for my baby grand piano to go.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it right there. I would say though, like my other one, my home gym thing, like there's a home gym behind this wall. And it was there when we bought the house, the treadmill, the squat rack, a bunch of weights, barbell, things like that for the right buyer are pretty attractive. I definitely was way more excited about this house than maybe I would have been had that not been in there. Cause I don't know. I like that idea of already having that stuff down there. And like, I was coming over here to work out when we first bought it and we were still doing work to this place, So if you are thinking about selling and you have a weight room, it's a lot of work to take apart that squat rack and get treadmill moved out. Maybe you just consider leaving it down there and adding $1,500, $2,000 onto your list price to make up for it or something. I bet a lot of people would take you up on it.
As far as I've heard too, it is if you are looking to sell the place and you're not going to keep all that home gym equipment, it is very, very hard to sell used gym equipment from what I've heard as well.
Well,
too.
yeah, especially now, like nowadays, because everyone got their fix during COVID, and now everyone's back to just using their gym equipment as a closet or like a hanger, storage rack. So yeah, no, there's not a market for it all of a sudden, and it's very difficult to find someone that'll come move it. Like, you can't. I'm sure 2 Minutes truck actually would move it, but not every moving company will move a treadmill. So
or they'll charge you a pretty good premium to move the treadmill.
I know that by the treadmill I have it there. I don't know. Someone else is gonna have to deal with that someday. I'm not ever.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a commercial one that is actually in gyms, and yeah.
Cool. Well, great episode, guys. Everyone enjoy the Iowa State game on Saturday, and then wake up on Sunday and follow the Springer Brothers page because I'm pretty sure we're all doing open houses.
The NFL is back on Sunday. Sydney, who's your NFL team?
I don't have one.
Oh, so the Denver Broncos play.
Or the Chiefs. The Chiefs could be a legitimate option to pick as well.
Chiefs, they've won too much, and I'm tired of seeing
the Chiefs
on the screen.
It's time for them to ride off in the sunset, blah, blah, blah. They can get on.
Win another one for Taylor. Let's go.
The Broncos versus the Titans, 3:05 p.m. I have NFL Sunday ticket. If you want to come support the Broncos, you guys are more than welcome to come support the Broncos with me.
I don't even remember who the Chiefs play, but I know they're in Brazil.
Let's see. This guy.
So.
Aren't the Eagles in Brazil tonight?
Pretty sure the Chiefs are in Brazil.
The Eagles play tonight, but maybe they just play here.
I think they just play here. They play the Cowboys.
Oh, because this is like the ring night type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in it. They're in Philadelphia.
Could you imagine an easier opening game for the defending world champions and playing the Cowboys?
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be garbage.
They're going to suck. Sydney, I saw from your post that you weren't born in Iowa. I didn't know that. Where are you born?
Virginia.
Oh, snap. When'd you move here?
When I was 2 years old.
Oh,
so I was pretty young.
So I've been back to our first discussion on this podcast on Decorah. I don't know if you've been to Virginia since or no, like the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia. I've been there before. Decorah, that area of Iowa almost kind of reminds me of Virginia.
Okay,
low lying mountains. I mean, there's more elevation in Virginia, but just kind of that feel, bunch of hills and a mix of farm and timber.
It's truly like it feels like a different state when you're up in that area of Iowa.
It's not farm country. There's a bunch of farms up there, but it's not like flat.
And all
the farms are hills and stuff.
Yeah, and it's way different than like a lot of other Midwest states. Because I mean, basically, if you go west of Iowa, you're getting very similar vibes. If you're in Kansas, Nebraska, southern parts of South Dakota. Really yeah, it's just flat. It's boring. It's prairie.
Nebraska, Virginia is cool. Decorah is cool. And Des Moines is especially cool.
Okay. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye.